the NFT alone, as when we highlight these projects, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10,000 people get to see it when we publish it on YouTube, and they go, hey, this looks good. They go do their own research, and because we researched it and made sure that it was a suitable project, the likelihood of them getting on board is going to be high. So it'll move the needle. That means you're able to get in before the needle moves. Okay. And I believe, and this happens, is when we put out a video, we've done the research, other YouTubers will be watching our channel and go, okay, they put out a video on this, they're being successful, let me put out a video on that same subject. Now, I got to tell you, we have not spent a single penny on driving this channel. We're working with Joe. For those that don't know, Joe Jackson has built multiple 5- and 6-figure channels, and he is over the moon on the results we're getting on the channel. Maybe Jan can hit on that because he's in the chat as well. He is absolutely convinced that he's going to be able to push this channel. Now, why is the channel important? Like I said, first of all, just the videos that you guys will get. The other side of it is remember, nexWeb3 is about taking projects to the marketplace. So moving these things forward. And if we have our own channel, as soon as we're ready to launch something, we launch it through the community to the community, and then we're able to go on the first and do that video. Just like we're the first ones to do it for Mickey. We're the first ones to do it for Nothing Token. We're already taking steps to be the first to do projects already, but we'll be able to do that. And of course, I think we can get to 6 figures. Our videos are pretty good. You know, maybe we can find a better looking person to do them at some point, but they're good quality.
Hardly, Peter.
But they're working out well, guys. Quality, the amount of watch time is good, so we're not having people get on for a few seconds and get off. A good portion of the people are actually watching the entire video, so we're keeping them entertained and we're keeping them engaged with it. So these are all indicators that will get YouTube to help us build the channel, right? So that's part of the whole thing is the videos are all being optimized. So YouTube says, oh, you've optimized the video, so we'll put effort and energy into helping drive the channel. So imagine having YouTube helping you build your channel. That is what we are doing and what we're moving towards. So if you get a chance, if you haven't, go and watch the videos. If you don't want to hear me talking, you can just, you know, put it on silent and then just let the video play on your phone in the background. If you really don't want to learn about the tokens, please engage on there. I love a lot of when you guys are putting things like, oh, looks like a great project and stuff. But to be honest with you, if you guys could ask some questions about the project or a comment about it, you know, I think, you know, I think the game looks good. I think the game looks a little weak. I think real questions so we can then respond back and get conversations going. And why is that important? YouTube's out there looking and saying, okay, what content is just getting comments and which content is creating conversations? Conversations get people to come back to YouTube to respond to the conversation. What do you think YouTube's #1 goal is? To get people to keep coming back and watching more videos. So we have to think from a business perspective of what can we do to make it to where YouTube will put our channel out to every single person in crypto and get them to become a fan of our project. So I want to make sure that you understand when you go watch the video, just, you know, you kind of have to listen to it if you're going to ask a question. But, you know, the question can be is, you know, let's say we show a video and we say staking and we don't know the percentage. Ask the percentage. What's the percentage of staking? Because hopefully what will happen, we're going to try to answer them. But if we can't answer them, we can then tag the YouTube channel or the X channel of the actual team, and we can say, hey, here's a question for you in YouTube for you to answer, and maybe get the team, the people working on the project, to come answer your question, okay? So if you can just take a few minutes, guys, come up with a great question, There's lots of them to ask, right? Do we know anything about these founders? We haven't said anything about that. Do we know anybody who's been in the project for the last year? Those type of things. So any type of thing that could hopefully get engagement going on them will help us build a faster channel. I'm telling you guys, we build a channel of 100,000. We're going to create billions and billions and tens of billions of dollars in wealth, more than if we didn't have a channel with hundreds of thousands of people, okay? So that's the first part of it, is on that side. So I don't know if you guys watch the news a lot, but I always keep up with it. That's how you put the world together. It's how you come up with future concepts. It's how you learn about, what's going on in AI and in quantum computing and all this other stuff. Like, I read an entire article on quantum computing, and I got to tell you guys, it's freaking learning about photons and protons and qubits and quantum entanglement, right? All of this crazy stuff. Now, the good thing is I'm learning the stuff so you guys don't have to, and we'll know what's going on and what's taking place. But back to the news. So I don't know if you guys saw, but Jim Cramer, who is the Squawk Box, right? Yeah. Big loud noises, ringy things, MSNBC, people love him, very credible. He has been very anti-crypto. Matter of fact, he was with Charles Munger and with Warren Buffett. Of course, we know Charles died recently, but Warren's still alive. And Jim Cramer is no longer anti-crypto, okay? Guys, this is big because when you have somebody who has, a million people a night watching them, tens of thousands of people that are part of their investment clubs and all that stuff, and they come out and start being positive on crypto. The reason why a lot of our family members, friends, and stuff don't like crypto is they watch those shows, and Jim Cramer comes on and goes, crypto's stupid, right? Crypto's for this, crypto's for criminals, crypto. That's all changing. And in the next week, there's going to be an ETF that's going to be announced. That's going to be big. But I believe I mentioned this on another call. There's actually a bigger ETF news that was announced the following week, which is Hong Kong just put out rules on their ETFs. What can be done? Now, the US is cash only, okay? That's the only way you can do it. You have to pay cash for that. China has put rules for both kinds of ETFs, which is an in-kind and a cash ETF. Bigger, more people will get involved. Now, if it is legal in Hong Kong, that means it's available for who? The billion people in China. I believe you're going to see India begin. India has been quite anti-crypto. I believe in the next 3 to 6 months, you're going to see them start to move towards pro-crypto. We are already seeing politicians who were anti-crypto beginning to move right in the center to a little bit on the positive side. Why? Because election time is coming, and they're realizing that being anti-crypto is a losing strategy in the election, right? So Senator Warren will keep beating her drum about, cryptos for criminals only, but pretty soon she's going to be beating it by herself, right? Because all the smart politicians are going to say, okay, I'm supposed to be here to represent the people, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to represent the people. And decentralization is the only true way for them to represent us, giving us back the power, us back the decision-making, an internet that's not owned by the companies, but owned by the people who drive that internet. So anybody who's anti-crypto either doesn't understand what its value is, or they are anti-people, they are anti-freedom, they are anti-American. It is that simple. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Simple, right? And that's not a political message on either side of the aisle, guys. It's facts. because there are people on both sides of the aisle that don't like crypto, and they're both in the same boat. Crypto, what's happening, being able to put it back the way it should be, which is us having the ability to make decisions, digital sovereignty, all of that stuff is a big part of life. Remember, we're becoming more digital, not less digital. 20 years ago, I didn't shop online. Very seldomly used email, right? Or 23 years ago, it's 24 years ago. Now, all my communication is just about done through some form of channel. I mean, heck, I haven't sent anybody a letter in the longest time, right? We sent out some Christmas cards, but that's probably about it, right? In the last, and if I need to send a check to somebody, right? So all of that stuff, our whole lives are going digital, and it's only going to be more with AI, quantum computing. Guys, if you realize the difference the world will be the day Q Day comes, so I want you to put that in your here, Q Day, right? What is Q Day? That is when quantum computing reaches the level of full functionality. So Q Day. And when that day comes, the world changes. The amount of computer power. If you know, I won't get into a lot of details, but computers are X's are ones and zeros, right? So that's the code, ones and zeros, and it can do a certain amount of functioning. Quantum computing is actually photons, and what happens is when you take those, the amount of processing they can do both functions at the same time. So computers either or, one or zero, they can do both at the same time. And then if you take two of those qubits and you combine them together, now you have quantum entanglement. Now that can do 4 functions. And then when you add more qubits to it, it can do more functions. And one of the companies out there just put together a computer with a quantum computer with 1,000 qubits. Every qubit multiplies the functionality, and they've done 1,000 qubits already. So, world's going to change. Problems that could not be solved right now will be solved in a minute, instantly. It's going to be crazy. Actually, I'm going to tell you guys this, okay, and then we'll move on to more stuff about what we're going to talk about. But there right now are governments, the U.S. government, the Chinese government, the Russian government, all the governments that have encrypted secrets. They've already stolen the information, right? As soon as quantum computing is done, they're going to be able to open it up. We are going to live in a world where we're going to know a lot of stuff about a lot of things that have been hidden by us from our governments, from other governments. I mean, like secrets galore. It's going to be interesting to see what comes out, right? Things that they maybe know that they tell us they don't know. It's going to be crazy, right? And so all this information is going to flood the world when that happens. So we have to look forward to Q Day to see how things are going to go, right? However, there's going to be a lot of benefits too from it, guys, and we can be a part of that as people. So community is commerce. AI. So you guys know we talked about the community project about a week ago. We have been continuing to work with them, build the relationship, verify information data. We finalized that today. I went and met with Bruce and his girlfriend. I went and met with them. We had a conversation. We have decided to move forward with that. So we're going to take about the next 5 or 6 days, build a website where you can go in. If you want to get involved in the community token, you will be able to do that. I bring that up to say that the community token will have the vault. That vault will have assets. We will have a seat on the board to determine what projects that vault invests in to move forward. We're going to become a major part of helping drive that, building bigger community. Now, anything we work on, we will then be able to share that with their community. Their community right now is about a little over 300 people, and it's growing. They believe by the 15th, they'll be at about 5 to 550. We'll probably add a few hundred from our community as we get going. So we'll have access to a community of 7, 8, 900 people. And then they have access to about 5 million people that we believe we can start marketing to and get all that stuff going. So saying all this is that we are making progress on all fronts. YouTube channel, on being able to create value for nexWeb3, a funding partnership with a community of people that then will be able to say, hey, here's something that we're working on, here's something that we're doing. We are working with some tremendous people that are so well connected. I won't get into the details of those connections, but they're vast in the space of Web3 crypto. And we're in the early stages. We're getting involved in projects with them. We're helping them work on these projects. One of them will be launching a chain in about 6 weeks, their own chain that we're working with a group of guys. Matter of fact, one of the lead guys there has already made over $600 million on Ethereum, right? That's what he made off of his Ethereum investment, $600 million. So they're doing pretty good in the crypto space. They're extremely well connected. We're just really began that relationship. And of course, some of you guys know I just put out the video on the Mickey token. We're involved with that. We're helping them foster its growth. We're helping with the website. We're helping with other things. We're getting fully involved with that. That team is connected to a gentleman who works with Nick Spanos, which has opened up the Bitcoin centers in all the different cities, which is connected to it's going to pop my head in a second. He was in the Bitcoin movie. Jan's going to tell me what his name is. Bitcoin movie.
I will.
Went to jail because of working with Silk Road. Anyway, Charlie Shrem. I got it.
You got
Charlie
it.
Shrem. His wife or girlfriend, I've heard both, wife and girlfriend, probably somewhere in between that, one or the other, wants to be in a movie. Well, he said, look, if you'll put her in a movie, we'll promote the token. And of course, she's going to be put in a movie, right? So we have that going for us as far as them getting involved. He has millions of followers, guys, through his social media and through his influence on different projects and stuff like that. There are a bunch of people like that that are going to be getting involved in helping drive the Mickey project. And that'll be interesting because we'll be able to tie into that with some of the stuff we're doing. And remember, all these things that we're doing, why is it? It's to build resources for us to drive the projects that we get involved with, partnerships, things with Otherverse, right? All of this stuff that we're doing, it all ties together. There's nothing that's like a little silo by itself that you're like, well, that one doesn't have any effect on it, right? It's a Nexus what? Ecosystem. An ecosystem is things that are connected, right? That all work in concert with each other to create harmony, to create life, to create wealth, digital wealth. And that is what it is all about. So, yes, Mickey is on the ETH chain. Hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll be able to rectify that and get it on another chain. But that is one of the things that we have a meeting with Jonathan coming up, and we'll talk about that type of stuff, getting on another chain that is less expensive for people to get involved with and be a part of on that side. So our goal, guys, is to take the last 3 years since we entered the crypto space, almost 3 years, I guess, in a big way, would be April or May of 3 years, or would be 3 years in April or May. And take all the context that we've built, everything that we've done, and tie all this together to make it where owning an NFT, that is now the center of the universe, right? The next Web3 NFTs are the center of the universe. It's what allows you to be involved in the higher level NFT you have, the higher level access you have to be involved in things and to be a part of things. All of that will be solidified over the next couple months. And then from there, we will build this digital empire, right? This wealth creating machine, digital wealth creating machine that will be able to be at the top of everybody's list. Like it's like you sit down and you go, hey, I'm getting ready to launch something. Let's make a list of everybody we want to work with. And you start making that list. And at the top of the list is nexWeb3 or Nexus Ecosystem. Our entities, right, is at the top of the list. Why? Because we're going to provide the most value. Projects are going to walk away and going, holy mackerel, we expected this and we got wow, right? Because of the community that we're building and everything that we're doing. And you guys know I don't hide stuff, right? This community is not growing as fast as I think it should be, right? But I'm okay with that, right? It doesn't matter. We'll go out and build massive resources and create massive successes. Then the community will come. Instead of saying, hey, let's get the community and we'll create massive successes, we'll just create massive successes. And I think Mickey's going to be one of those that can 20, 30, 40x from where people can get in right now. It's already being traded. It's already a token that's out. We have other opportunities, the videos that we're producing. Guys, we spent a lot of time researching those videos to find projects that are under $1 million that have made real progress for the last 2 years, 3 years. There's people still working on them. And what that tells me is they have, they have the fortitude like we do. The last 2 years, okay, I got to tell you guys, the last 2 years, everybody here put in from 1 to 10, 10 being really bad. The last 2 years of this bear market, 1 being it was not too bad, 10 being really bad. Where do you sit on that scale of 1 to 10? As far as bad or not bad? 8, 7, 8. George did good. Jody 7. Okay. So guys, in these numbers are fair numbers, but I have to tell you what, that's not even on the scale of if you've been in this, doing this 7 days a week, building the projects themselves. The difficulties that are in a bear market in here, because the abandonment of, not you guys have stuck with us, but of the majority of people, and the interest level in anything crypto over the last 2 years have been next to nothing. So, and I've always built businesses, and businesses are always hard to build, but there's nothing harder than building in a bear market in the crypto market, especially this one, especially the last year. First year is like you have hope it's going to end soon. After, last year when it rolled over into 2020, 2023, you're like, oh my God, this thing's never going to end, right? And then it went right up to that 2-year mark, and then finally it began to turn, right? And it began to change a little bit and move forward from there. And especially if we went through the tail end of the bull run about the last 4 or 5 months. And it's like, man, this is like shooting ducks in a barrel, right? We're kicking butt. We're creating what? And then all of a sudden it comes along, and look, it just didn't knock us out on our butts. It knocked everybody in crypto on their butts. Everybody. Every single person. And that have stuck with it. And I got to tell you, a lot of people quit. A lot of people shut down their projects, and they're coming out of the woodwork now, and they're going to start new projects. Sadly enough, people will fall for that. But there's people who stuck it out and that kept pushing forward. And that is this team, all the other people that we're working with and the projects that we're working on. And so we're excited to be here. And we know that 2024 is the setup year. And 2025 is going to be absolutely amazing. I believe there's going to be a setup and a shift, and you can make a lot of money in 2024. But if we do it right, and we do it with companies and value and not hit and runs and not I'm in and out, and we support the right projects and we support the right teams, whatever we make in 2024 will 10x or 20x in 2025. That's my belief. And then there'll be another bear market. And if we understand and know what we're doing, we'll protect ourselves, continue to support the companies that'll make it to that one, because after that will be a more stable market and the real value proposition will come into crypto. I've been talking to some very well-connected people, and they think that really what crypto is about is get rich quick, and they think most of the people in crypto, that's all they want. And so it's not really important the long term of the company or the project because nobody's in it for long term. We take a completely different approach. We understand the value of the technology, the value of what we're doing, the value of what it can provide for society, decentralization. Token values are token values. And yes, some will go up and some will come back down. You guys see my PCX? I got to tell you, so in the last bull run, I guess I got a crush on a project, right? It was PCX. I just loved their design and everything they were doing, and I start buying PCXs. And they were $6, $7, $8. So I'd buy 10 of them and buy 8 more and buy 10 more and buy 5 more. And then they started staking. So I moved it over to staking. And I've got it staked. And all of a sudden, the market, November comes around, and my little PCX goes down to, it gets all the way up to $16. I don't buy any at 16. I think the last price I bought it was like $12, okay? And I go, oh, I'm going to just hold now. And I'm going to stake this, and it's going to, and I told Corey, I was talking to him, I said, I'm going to be a PCX millionaire, okay? So anyway, bear market comes. My PCX goes back down to $12. Back down to $9, back down to $8, back down to $6, back down to $4, back down to $3. Now my thousands of dollars in investment is worth a few $100 and diminishing. My little PCX, which I kept staked and I kept earning it, right, eventually went to 9 cents. 9 cents. Now, if you bought everything, let's say I had a couple $1,000, about maybe $2,100, $2,200 invested in PCX. So if you look at that, if it went from, let's say I'm in an average of $10, well, basically my thousands went down to being worth less than $70. I just went and checked. And that's after staking it for over 2 years. So it included all the stake tokens I made. If I wouldn't have staked it, my thousands of dollars would have been worth about $27 or $28. Isn't that amazing, guys? Well, that was a month ago. Today, I actually said, wait, cost averaging, found out I could buy it somewhere, and I bought another 200 of them because I believed. I said, I still think that this project, they're still working on it. They're still doing stuff on it. This is a layer 2 Bitcoin network that's done 100,000 Bitcoin. It's processed over its network. There's something wrong here. So 23 cents came up from 9 to 23. I bought another couple hundred of them, put in another 40, $50. All right, now I got a couple hundred more. I move it over, I stake it. It goes to 47 cents. I go, well, shoot, let me buy another couple hundred more. So I put another $100 in and I move it over. I wish I would have put a couple thousand in because today it went over $1.50. Now I got to tell you, because of my staking, my cost averaging, putting another $150 in, my 2,000, let's say 2,250, let's say I'm in right now, is now worth, I have 1,402 PCX. I'll show you guys here. Let me share my screen. let's do a show and tell here, because I love it. I show this in the video, right, too, as well. So I love it. They got a little thing right here. I don't have to log in. It just opens up, but it's protected. Very safe here. So here we go, 1,402. I've got it staked, so it's earning me every single time. See, here's my little stake. Oh, here, I got to hit that one. There you go. Here's my little stake. See, I've earned another 0.67 PCX, 0.068. Guys, I know other people, and I love these other people. They got into PCX as well, and they didn't quite have the ability to stay in as long as I have and continue to believe. And I'm telling you guys right now, I'm more convinced I'm going to be a PCX millionaire than ever before. They created a layer 2 before layer 2's anybody else, right? Just nobody paid attention. Nobody said, "What do you need a layer 2 on the Bitcoin network? You don't need a layer 2." Oh, wait. Now everybody's building on layer 2 because this thing called ordinals comes out. Oh my goodness. They were ahead of their time. They caught up. Guys, this is about patience, right? This is about being able to say, oh, let me buy some more. Let me buy some more. Not giving up and saying, well, that one's not working. Let me move on and just do something else. If the founders are still showing up every day and they're still doing stuff, then why wouldn't you believe in it? Damon asks, what's the PCX's utility? It is a bridge between the Polkadot network and Bitcoin. It's literally a layer 2 Bitcoin network. And now they're building what they call X Lightning, which will be on the Bitcoin Lightning network. But here's the key, guys. They were building something that was ahead of its time, but they kept building it. And that's the thing. We try to find the superstar. Oh, what's his name? Oh, no, let's not mention his name. He's in prison because he was a superstar. He was a genius. He ran something called FTX. How'd that work out? We need to look for the people who have the heart of Web3 and develop it. And maybe, yeah, we could have ran off with the Ponzi scheme person, the one's going to drive up things temporarily and made a whole bunch of money really quickly. Or we can put our effort and time and build something that's real. Guys, I don't want to have to sell all my tokens to do stuff. I want to build so much wealth that when the next bear market comes, yes, let me get some into stablecoin, but I can hold in the projects because the projects that I'm going to be in are projects that are eventually or are already generating revenue, and they're going to continue to increase that revenue, whether their token price is up or down. Because why? It provides value to society, just like Amazon does when it brings packages to our house every day, just like it does when it provides web hosting. The world is about to change. Peer-to-peer internet. How many of you guys believe, a 1 if you believe it would be better, a 2 if not? How many people, so 2 if not, 1 if so, how many people believe that a peer-to-peer internet would be more beneficial to society than the one we have right now? P2P, yes, Drew, absolutely. It's coming. Kira, guys, I can go down the projects and we're going to bring this information. We're going to bring how to engage with it, how you can start to use a peer-to-peer internet and start to move yourself into digital sovereignty. Why would you bring somebody to nexWeb3? Because we are part of a movement that is going to help improve this world. We're about bringing decentralization to the world. We have a cause. We have a reason to exist. We're here not just about creating wealth. Now, the thing that I love about it the most, absolutely love, guys, it literally makes me smile, is that I found a vehicle where I can get absolutely freaking wealthy helping the rest of the world. How do you like those apples? Oh my goodness gracious. Wait a minute. I can become wealthy while making this a better place for everybody else in the world? Shit, sign me up. Oh, wait, I already am because I have an NFT. I'm part of the community. We're connecting with other communities. That's the biggest reason. I don't think it needs to be complex with nexWeb3. There's a lot of parts to it, and there'll always be a lot of parts to it. There'll never be a lot. Oh, by the way, guys, in the Jim Cramer thing, you know what he said? He said, in the face of government threats, they could not kill Bitcoin. It's resilient. And that's exactly it. They cannot stop this. Gensler cannot stop it. The administration cannot stop it. The next administration will not be able to stop it. You have to understand, the Chinese government could not stop the movement towards decentralization. Now, there is one threat to it, and that is that big corporations hijack it. They don't stop it, they hijack it. And that would mean a mainly centralized system with just a little bit of taste of decentralization. Meaning, hey, here's your, here's what you're going to do, but hey, you can make a little decision. Or we can have mainly decentralized and then a little bit of centralization, which I believe is the model that will work best for the world. That depends on us. Frank, Sarah, Carolyn, Damon, Drew, Bill, BJ, Ann. It depends on us. If we don't start having these conversations with our friends, and we don't need to change their minds, we don't need them to agree with us. Jay, Jody, Kathy, they don't need to agree with us, guys. But they need to hear it because they will eventually connect the dots. And I don't argue with anybody. I'm not in this world to get mad or argue with anybody. But here's what I believe. Here's what I know. And I'm telling you, if you begin to put this stuff in front of them, they will begin to believe it. We had the CEO of a major bank a few weeks ago sit in front of your government officials and say, if I was the government, I would shut down Bitcoin. While his bank, the company he runs, is on the majority of the ETFs to process those Bitcoin ETFs. Criminal, I tell you. Absolutely criminal. That's centralization. That is, let me say one thing and do something else. Guys, it's what we need to change. It is something that we can change. We can make a difference. And we don't have to go fight a battle. We don't have to risk our lives. We just simply need to start having conversations with people. We need to get engaged. Let them know that nexWeb3 exists. And at some point, they'll decide, yeah, I think I'll get one of those NFT things. And I'll become a part of it. But anyway, guys, I'm excited. The things that are happening, the things that are going on. Oh, I am so grateful the 2 years are over with. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. I'm not thanking you guys. I'm thanking God. Right? Thank you for this being over with. Because now we can fulfill the promises, the ideas, the concepts, all the things that we've put forward. And for some of you guys that have been around a while, we have not forgotten about True Badger. We have not forgotten about NSI token. We have not forgotten about Safufied. We've been building stuff in the background. We've been accumulating things in the background. And as things begin to move forward and all of this comes together, what does a rising tide do? I'm going to wait for someone else to answer. Crypto gods. We have not forgotten, baby. I'm telling you right now. You hold one, hold it. Keep it. Rising tide raises all ships. Every ship. All of them. Anything that we've brought you guys to that you've done with us over the years, we are going to make sure it is creating value. That it rises, that it shines, that it says, here I am. Then go for it from there. Some will shine more than others, right? But they're all going to shine. And the opportunity is now for us to do that. The sooner or the faster we build a community, bang, it'll help us out. But whether we do or don't, it is not going to stop us from having our day in the sunshine. I'm telling you right now. It is not going to stop us at all. We're going to push forward. We're going to go. And at some point, it'll get so easy that, y'all will call me up and go, dude, we got too many people joining nexWeb3. I need you to shut it off. And be like, buddy, you just got to put on your big boy pants and just get it done, right? We ain't shutting it off. This community is commerce. We're bringing as many as we can. Sharona's going to call me and go, Peter, please, can we at least slow it down? I'll be like, Sharona,
no way, Jose.
Time to make it happen. So, guys, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. 2024 is going to be a phenomenal year. Maybe you came on to hear a presentation on nexWeb3. What I talked about tonight is what nexWeb3 is. It's your opportunity. It's your friends, your family, your loved ones' opportunity to get engaged and benefit from the biggest technological movement that's going to take place, not over the next couple of years, from now through the future. Because every trend, everything that happens as we build this community, we'll be able to do it all. I cannot wait to hear the news that our rocket ship went behind an asteroid and mined 1 trillion tons of something, right? That we discovered some new metal that nobody knew about that now makes this amazing thing happen. And it's, guess what? It's got the nexWeb3 symbol right on the side of it. Whether it might be another rocket company, but it says powered by nexWeb3. DAO. Bam, baby. DAO. nexWeb3 DAO. And you're like, holy crap, I'm in the space business, baby. Come on. Right? Who wouldn't want? Have you guys looked at quantum computer? Hold on. Jan, can you do me a favor, buddy? Pull up some pictures of quantum computers, right? Do we not want our own nexWeb3 quantum computer? Yes, I have to have a quantum computer. Now, eventually they'll probably shrink them down and they won't quite be as cool looking. I don't know, but I want one of the cool ones. So I'd like to say, hey, guess what? It's the end of 2024 and nexWeb3 has enough resource, a big enough community. We're getting into quantum computing. That's right. We're going to play the game. We're going to go to our friends and our business partners, BTQ, and they're going to help us jump right into it because they got some of the brightest minds in the world, and we're going to play in the quantum computers. And maybe it's 2025. It's an expensive place to be. Isn't that cool looking, guys? So in the comments, guys, what do you think of that? Wouldn't that be cool to be able to go and say, hey, my friends, check out my quantum computing, your little piece of the quantum computer because of what you've done. Approval for what we're doing in Nexus Ecosystem? No. I'm bringing community together and getting involved in different, things, but the way we're doing it is perfectly fine. We are in no violation of any of that stuff, guys. And to be honest, our goal is to move things forward. So in all the stuff that we've done. When in the early days, when you launch things, you might be in the gray, but when you're in the heather gray, that's the way I like to operate. But we have opinion letters on everything that we've done. We've put all that stuff together. And at the end of the day, the people that are going to get in trouble are ones that hurt people. First of all, that's not something that we've done. And we will continue to do things to the best of our ability with our legal counsel, and then we'll move things forward. And again, some of the things we're doing, which are different than things we were doing before, are because we'll wait for the regulatory environment to be defined. And then from there, we can go ahead and start forming, the different things that we're doing. So we understand a lot of the legal issues. We understand the regulatory side of things. So no, owning an NFT. So a lot of the people that are doing things like this are saying, oh, you get a portion of the profits if you own this NFT. That's not what we're doing, because then it would be a security and then it would be a problem. We have a reward-based NFTs, meaning you might get a gas card, or you might get because the vision is that the DAO can keep building resources and building resources. And if you're not somebody who, and I don't want to say this the wrong way, that's too impatient to build real wealth, real value. So there's people out there that would just want to get wealthy. They don't care how they do it. They just want it to be instant. And then there's people that say, I really want to go out in the world and create value from when I build my wealth. I see myself as one of those people, right? I want to create real value in the world. And so if the DAO takes 20 years, I'm okay. Right? Now, are there opportunities for things for me to do? Heck yeah. I can watch a YouTube video before everybody else does, because I have an NFT that's not giving financial advice, simply reviewing a token. Then I can go do my own research. I can say that looks pretty good. I agree. I can put $100 in, and then in 3 months it could be worth $10,000. That's my now financial benefit. If I love the project, I pull out a few thousand and I leave the rest in and let it keep going. Maybe they have staking and I stake it like I did my PCX, right? Let that baby keep growing and then move forward from there. So there is nothing that we're doing that is in any way going to get us shut down in any way. As a matter of fact, we are the good guys in crypto. We are the good guys in Web3. We're the ones that are talking about creating value and not treating it like it's a slot machine. Not taking our money out and just saying, oh, I've been in it for a week, I have 10x, let me run off and go somewhere else. That's not what we're doing, and that's not who we are on the projects that we're working on and working with. And we hope that that's not who you guys are, that we're in this for the long run, and that we see a vision of down the road. Now, there will be time to say, oh, I made $1 million, let me pull 50 or 100 grand off the table, let me diversify, let me do other things. And with the regulatory environment, we'll figure out what that is and how we can do that in a collaborative nature. And then we'll implement those strategies to make that happen. So hopefully, Damon, that answers your question. We're here for the long run. We're not trying to shortcut anything. We could have shortcutted stuff, 50 times, 100 times, especially over the last 2 years, over the last 8 years, many, many times. And I think sometimes to the frustration of some of the community members, and maybe not to any major degree, the frustration of the team, I don't take shortcuts. I'm not somebody who is afraid to work and take the time that it takes to build something that's real and something that creates value. I truly believe the only time you should accept compensation for anything is if you've created value in that way. If somebody gives you a gift, mom says, hey, son, I love you, here's $100, that's a different story, right? You did create the value. You're a mama's boy, right? So mama's taking care, right? That's the value that you create right there. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I want to make sure that if I say, here, somebody's paying me 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, I got in a project and my money goes up 100x. What was the value that I created? Did I leave the money in long enough to give the project time to create value, to do stuff and move it forward? So anyway, guys, I don't want to spend all night talking about my philosophies and what I'm doing. I just want you guys to know we're doing everything we can to make sure that what we're building will last a long time. I need it to last a long time because I plan on being here for a lot longer, right? So if you're going to be here a long time, you got to have things that last a long time. And I got a lot of other cool stuff that I want to do to help make this a better world. And it all is super expensive. It takes a lot of resources to do the kind of things that I'd love to do. And if you'd like to know the kind of things I'd love to do on a more serious note, go watch Mr. Beast and see the stuff that he does. I mean, just incredible to be able to open up a bank that gives away free money or a car dealership that gives away free cars. That to me is the coolest thing in the world. I'd like to do it a little bit more directed, make sure that the people who maybe are getting the car are somebody who maybe served their country in the military, or maybe it was somebody who's a fireman, somebody who sacrificed, maybe it's somebody who fell on hard times and they're turning their life around, making sure that the resources and the gifts go to people who will appreciate them and move them forward. But I believe there's ways to get that done, and I believe we can do that better as a community than we ever will be able to do by ourselves. So thank you guys for joining us. Me and Jan is we're gonna go create some new videos here if we have time. Jan, we still have time, buddy? We're still good on time?
We're gonna get it done.
Perfect. We're gonna go create a couple more videos, guys. Thank you. Please support the channel. Like the videos, get in the conversation, watch them all. I know we're putting out a lot, like 2 a day, and we're gonna start putting out some how-to videos. But please, 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 and if you are gonna watch it all the way through. If you need to turn down the sound because you're like, I just listened to Peter for 50 minutes, I don't want to hear him anymore. I understand. I sometimes get sick of my own voice. I'm right with you. Just you could turn it down and then let the video play all the way through. Again, thank you guys. Let's go make 2024 an amazing year for a whole bunch of people we don't even